Alright, hey guys, welcome in today. Got a brand new video off the request line. I got an Elephant and Piggie step-by-step tutorial, so that is what I'm gonna do. Trying to get different videos for you guys. So what I have is I'm gonna have Piggie down here and Elephant on this side. So I'm gonna do them both step-by-step as best as I can. Some of the steps will be a little bit tricky, but you gotta follow through kind of till the end, and I think you'll be able to do it. Some simple shapes that I start with on this side. So again, we're gonna do Piggie down here. We're gonna start off with a oval shape, and then two lines on the nose, and then almost a kind of quarter circle on that side, and then it follows also over on this side. So that's kind of half of the circle. It kind of runs into about that far, and then it goes up into a triangle that is going to be the ear of Piggie, and then down from the ear it kind of connects almost, except it leaves a little gap here, and then you can do the other ear on there. So we got the whole head for Piggie on there, two ovals for the eyes. Those will be colored in a little bit later. A little smile onto there. There's a little sideways kind of smile onto there. So that's the head. For the body of Piggie, kind of goes a curvy line down, and then another curvy line that almost turns into like a J. I'm gonna do the feet kind of sticking out, going this way towards the corner of the paper. So I'm gonna do one line, followed by two lines. So two lines, and then it has kind of this upside down V, and then a similar part almost where this connects. So let's put one and then two over here. Same thing where it has an upside down V. That's the little piglet feet. And then a triangle right in that corner for the little tail. All right, starting to look a little bit more realistic now. Same thing for the arms, has two lines coming down, and then an upside down V onto there, and then a similar part over here, which is kind of the little hand put on the side. So I'm going to do two lines and then a upside down V there. Okay, we got Piggie done. Now on to Elephant, or George, I should say. He'll come with the ear. His ear, obviously he's got elephant ears, so they're pretty big. So I'm gonna do kind of like a curved line, kind of stops right there, right up from the ear. And then the other curved line comes from kind of the side of the face over here by Piggie. And then it just stops right before. Now George has a big circle shape for his head onto there. Okay, so that will start, we'll have a little line down here to kind of start the circle. And then imagine if that would kind of go through the ear. And then this kind of rainbow line that goes all the way up and then comes down a little bit. I'm gonna make that a little bit better. All these lines will be gone over with Sharpie for Elephant and Piggie. We're on to George right now. These are some of my favorite books, so that's why I definitely love doing these characters. They're so unique and so different than any other books, that are around right now. So I really like these characters. So on to George, kind of trademark glasses that we're gonna do next. So I'm gonna start with that circle on the top, mini here, rainbow line. That's because his trunk kind of gets in the way. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then a straight line. Another circle. That's for his glasses. And then it runs right into that ear part of it. You can do it like a U shape. U on that side. And kind of a curved U on that shape. And then his trunk goes right under that. That's why I kind of didn't finish that part. So his trunk goes about in the middle of his glasses. It goes out and then down. You can kind of connect that if it didn't connect onto there. so it looks a little bit more realistic. About that far. Put a little dot there if you want. You can put another dot if you want over here, and then you kind of connect those to your final dot there. Sometimes making those dots make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to have my line that goes out and then all the way down, and then it has a little bit of a curve on the bottom of his snout or his trunk on there, and then we have that finishing line that kind of finishes his circle. So that'll go from his nose over to here, and then it just kind of stops there. Okay, we got his face, except for his little smile that he has over here. Just like a little check bark, kind of swoosh up to there. I like it. He's got one ear. Let's finish the other ear. That kind of is tucked behind his trunk. So it goes up and then down. And imagine if it was behind his trunk, almost like a little L shape. That goes down and then over. Onto there. I like it. Looks nice for his head. Now we just got to add his body onto there. His body's kind of pushed right against Piggy, so it's kind of nice and tight there. I'm going to do a big curve line for his belly. Onto there. And then he's got also kind of two sets of lines for his legs. So one line that goes out here. One line that follows a little bit longer. So that actually can run right into Piggy's tail. Right onto there. There's that line. And then you can finish that with a little curve onto there. We'll put his toes on there in a little bit, but then another curved line. And then a line that goes straight across on there. Starting to look like an elephant now, giving him a little bit of body towards his ear. So one, and then two. You can put a little curve onto that. And then the last little part, a little line over there. And then we can start adding some of those details that definitely make him look more like an elephant. He's got his kind of toes. So curvy line, curvy line, curvy line. Same thing on the other toe. I'll go through that. And then same thing on his kind of arms or toes, I guess you might want to call them. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. And then over here you can sneak those in also. We'll just put 2 on that. And there, I think, is our Elephant and Piggie. I'll do that all up in Sharpie. I'll color in Elephant and Piggie. Oh, I actually wanted to put a little mound on here because they have that on some of their books. So let's do a curvy line that goes from one side, and then it kind of stops, and then it'll continue on the other side all the way over there. And then I'll have the background, kind of their trademark with their green and kind of a tan down here. We'll do Elephant and George in kind of an elephant color, like a light blue, and then Piggy in a pink. So let's go through that real quick. All right, there it is. Thought it turned out great. So there is my Elephant and Piggie for this step-by-step. Thank you guys for viewing. As always, I am Mr. Shooty. This is Mr. Shooty's art class. We'll talk to you guys later.